Well, we've been having fun with Gary, but at one point he was a little bit less crazy than he is today, and he sort of had a midway between his current alt right preacher, I'm saving everyone apocalyptic role, and his older role where he was fairly vicious and hostile to things like JJ and parts of Star Trek and Star Wars, but he was more balanced. So we're going to look at a transition period where he's going to reveal the lesbian communist MCU conspiracy. But as we're gonna see, it's like, what? I don't understand.
Motolicious, $5. It's called Operation Mockingbird. It never really ended. I know what you're talking about, and absolutely, it did not end. No. That's the whole point. And it was listen, not to get too deep in the weeds, but there was that is for the exozone. That is for the exozone. But listen, there are good moments in it too. But they done screwed it up. I'm not going to lie to you there. This is still going to make a ton of money. This is still going to be the biggest hit. And they're going to think, because Captain Marvel and this happened, we can definitely go in this direction. We can do no wrong, but it's usually in these times. Thanos says it himself within this movie. Karen Gillan's character of Nebula walks out after being a mole inside of Avengers. They didn't even know that she was a different Nebula. She says they don't suspect a thing. Thanos says back to her, the arrogant usually don't, and hangs up his helmet and says, I'll sit here and wait for the stones. Boom. It's within your own damn movie. So yeah, go right ahead. Let's see if we get 7 films of Brie.
There's a lot to be said about that particular sequence, and I've noted my own hostility to Endgame, usually on aesthetic grounds. There is political stuff you can definitely really not like, even if your politics are more liberal on the left, like the girl power sequence, as it's now infamously known, where all these female Marvel heroes just gather up out of nowhere and just are like just in a scene together, and you're like, wait, what is going on here? That's really strange. Now, you might excuse it because Endgame is not really clear about where people are positioned. They're just all over the place in the battle at the end with Thanos, but I think you have to be pretty naive not to see that there was some kind of political message. But he's not going to that. He's going to the sequence where nebulas are replaced, and Thanos says, I'm going to sit right here. They're going to bring the gems to me. And to be fair to him, I think he's implying technically 2 theories, right? One is the Brie feminist takeover theory, which is also kind of strange, and the more hardcore communist, feminist, Maoist interpretation, where either way, the old MCU is dying off. And to some degree, that has been vindicated. We're seeing more Brie, we're seeing more gay characters, etc., etc., etc. So at least the Brie part of it is possible, but
well done.
Thank you, Father. I suspected nothing.
The arrogant never do.
why would this sequence or scene be a part of that? I mean, like, he likes to use little bits and pieces of his own audio and his own videos to vindicate his MCU conspiracy and just conspiracies in general and blah, 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 and config is the new Satan. He doesn't use this section anymore, as far as I'm aware. I've looked at, I don't know, like 100 Gary videos. He doesn't use this section, but he did it. This is public. This is a spoiler review on Endgame. It's right there. He's not even putting it unlisted as far as I know. So, okay, the girl power moment is very strange. One of the Russo brothers playing a gay man, that's very, very strange. So there's definitely some political agenda. You can definitely criticize it on those grounds alone. But you do have other sections where it is just stupid jokes, a lot of stupid action scenes. Those don't seem to me to have any real political agenda. And you do have sort of like the other half, which he even talks about with Captain America. Well, it doesn't make any sense. On the one hand, you're saying there's a Brie Larson gay communist threat conspiracy. On the other hand, the thing ends with a heterosexual romance. Literally, we're having, canonically, Captain America go off to have this heterosexual love affair, apparently, with Peggy. How does that confirm the gay communist conspiracy? That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, I guess you can sort of say they're getting rid of the white male hero, but, you know, he seems pretty happy. He's dancing with his girlfriend. I don't quite understand that either. So I'm just trying to figure out. But I will say this: he does reference Mockingbird. That is a real thing. That is a CIA operation. Though as always, his logic is all over the place because that's really an anti-left CIA operation, but he's using it to confirm his right-wing theories. It's just this is all over the place, and I'm still not even getting clear what the interpretation is. It's like the arrogant often don't know. Is that Feige's referencing himself, so he's Thanos, or is it the audience which is Thanos and they're fooled and they're gonna wait right there while the Brie gay communists come to them? I don't. I'm not even clear what the hell he just said. He just was like, they just admitted it. It's like Kylo Ren killed the past Last Jedi. Okay, and they still use that quite a lot, even though that doesn't make sense either. And now Hayden Christensen is endorsing the sequel trilogy, and particularly endorsing Adam Driver's. This is not adding up at all. But at least there, with the girl power stuff and Kylo Ren, it's still pretty crazy, drawing out a large amount of hypotheses from these scenes. But it's like, okay, well, they're plausible. At least maybe you can generate an interpretation. But it's like the nebula is being replaced, and Thanos sitting down confirms the gay Maoist conspiracy. I don't see how it even confirms the Brie conspiracy theory. Like Thanos and Nebula talking confirmed Bree's taking over the MCU. Like how? I don't even understand. Are you saying like when the Nebulas were replaced, the other Nebula was the MCU, but the new Nebula is the communist feminist Nebula, but they can't tell? Like they don't even know the difference. That's us, the audience. We didn't understand. We're getting a Manchurian MCU with the feminists and communists. I really don't know. Like nothing he said just made any sense whatsoever. I'm like, what are you babbling about? I'm like, I don't know. But this is moderate Gary too, by the way. So I'm like, so if even moderate Gary is just gone cuckoo on conspiracy theory talk, I can't even imagine what extreme Gary's like now. And extreme Gary's pretty bad onto himself.